So, Lexie Hull and Caitlin Clark are both players on the Indiana Fever. And when we're just talking about stylistically what Indiana Fever player suits what Caitlin Clark wants to do the most, the answer is probably Lexie Hull. Like, is she the best player on the team? No. Like, Aaliyah Boston's definitely the second best player, and she's adapted her game, and her IQ is off the charts. I did not realize how smart Aaliyah Boston was going to be. But she obviously has had to adapt her game a little bit to play with Caitlin. Kelsey Mitchell's better than Lexie Hull, but she doesn't fit quite as well with Caitlin. And same with their other players, and same with Alyssa Smith, same with Katie Lou's been starting. And with Lexie Hull, the way she plays fits Caitlin Clark perfectly. Before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 25.1k by the end of the day. We're not going to 25k and 50. Be incredible. It's only 22 more subscribers. Either way, let's take a look at this article. And it is saying that despite a limited role, the ever-optimistic Lexie Hull enjoys WNBA break in Mexico with Fever teammate Caitlin Clark. Much like when she was a rookie in 2022, after the Central Valley High School player was the 6th pick in the draft, she's mostly come off the bench. As a rookie, she played in 26 games, started 4 times. In fairness, this is the first, even though she played a bit more as a rookie, they won 5 games that year. This season, she's appeared in 20 games, made just 1 start against the Mystics, where she played 20 minutes. It's a different role than last season when she started 25 to 30 games, but she isn't complaining. And look, the team was terrible. She shot 20% from 3. She's actually a good player on a good team, it seems. And also the fact that Christy Wallace had gotten into the starting lineup, they brought in Katie Lou at her position, and she's still a starter. Whole statement about the WNBA season being a roller coaster couldn't have been more apt. Indiana started 1-8 and have been 10-7 since. They were actually freaking 10-6 since, and they blew that game against Dallas. The Fever's 11-15 record break as the WNBA breaks with Paris Summer Olympics has many around the organization think it could be the year Indiana returns to playoffs for the first time since 2016 when the Fever lost to the Phoenix Mercury. Resiliency is the word to describe teams involved and what these guys have endured from a 1-8 start. Facing the best teams in the league, early back-to-backs, it was tough, Christie's side said. And I just want to get to a Lexie Hull quote. And it's obviously Christie's side's about Lexie Hull. She's just consistent with her efforts. She's always just active. And that's the big thing, is that she runs. She runs. That's why stylistically she's so good with Caitlin Clark, is that she runs. She is the only player on this team that can run. And I don't just mean run in general. I mean run. Run to the extent of a Sydney Fulter, of a Kate Martin. She just runs. But so since the Fever selected Caitlin Clark early in the year, the hype surrounding the former Iowa star has been immense, drawing sellout crowds not only to Indiana's home games but the away games. And Hull sees the bigger. Well, I'll go down when I scroll down. Hull sees the bigger picture and continues to take in the whole vibe and appreciate everyone's support. It's just really exciting, everything about it. Playing in sold-out arenas pretty much every game. It's really cool. It's cool for the sport and for our team. We're a pretty young team that's building, so to build and grow in an environment like this is really special. Hull and Clark have formed a friendship over the past few months, and the talented duo will travel to Mexico for a few days. She's a great person and a great player. Fun to get to know her outside of court, outside of basketball. She's actually coming to Mexico. It'll be a fun getaway for us. And yeah, they're in Mexico. On Katie Lou's Instagram story, Caitlin Clark in Mexico outside of basketball. Do you guys remember the boat picture? Do you guys not remember the boat picture? The day after Caitlin Clark burst her eardrum and everyone was talking about this team all hates each other because Caitlin Clark's not on the boat when, I'm pretty sure the one thing you are told not to do when you have an ear injury is get in water. I'm pretty sure it's very, very much a case of do not get in the water. So yeah, Caitlin Clark in Mexico, which is a bit of a surprise. I would not have thought that Caitlin Clark would have lasted this long without picking up a basketball. It was the All-Star game was Saturday. It's been Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's been 4 days. It's been 4 whole days and she hasn't picked up a basketball. To be fair, look, it realistically is probably what Caitlin Clark needed. It is realistically what she needed. She needed to get away with the team. She needed to just have a period of time where she's not losing her damn mind at basketball and not worried about that. So it is good. And you can even see here from Lexie Hull, she's a great person, great player. Just talking about how good it's going to be for the team and the fact that the team are excited about playing in sold out arenas every game. And that's the one thing I will always say is that I think the teams have realized this and they're like, the fans that are at the game, like especially the Mercury players were some of the ones that were like harshest on Caitlin Clark. But then they saw their whole team. By the way, Caitlin Clark got the standing ovation. A lot of fans were there for Caitlin. They were still cheering for the Mercury. Like some of these are players that, like Taurasi, had never played in front of a sold out crowd in her career, as far as I'm aware, until that game. These players are realizing it. These players are realizing, okay, we're playing against Caitlin Clark. Unless you are the Aces or the Liberty, who are going to sell out games anyway. Unless we are playing Caitlin Clark, we might play in front of 5,000 people. But now there's 20,000 people against Caitlin Clark. And you go to the All-Star weekend, and there's like A-list celebrities everywhere, and everyone wants to be around, and you're a WNBA player, so you're getting these courtside seats. And suddenly you're looking around, there's A-list celebrities, all the attention's on your players, there's 10 times the amount of reporters there, there's 10 times the fans, people are going crazy. You're seeing this boom in the sport. And it's got to the stage where it's like, I want to join, to be on that ship. But, yeah, I think people are realizing it as well. Like, you can see, I think there was definitely resentment towards Caitlin Clark, but not Caitlin Clark the person. There was resentment towards the circus that she came in with. Not even like the circus herself that she caused, but there was a resentment towards a certain group of, I'm not even going to call them Caitlin Clark fans, that they just didn't like. And you can see as the season's going on, like it's starting, normality is resuming. Like you could see all the Iowa team got on really well. They were a close-knit team. Heck, they were a good team, but with the lack of talent they had compared to other teams in the Final Four, if they were not all on the same page, they were not winning. They were not winning those games. Like, heck, game 1 against Holy Cross, through the first half, Breanna Power Cassidy was going bucket for bucket with Caitlin Clark, and it was the others that really got the Iowa with a big lead in that game. To be fair, Breanna did. Other angles made it look not nearly as bad, made it look 100 times worse than it was, but obviously we know what that game is going to be remembered for. But, like, Iowa were a really good team, and I think the Fever are literally a better coach away from being one of the top 5 teams. Or maybe top 6. They are better than the Mercury. Fully healthy, they're better than the Mercury. And they are a team that, with the way the playoffs are, have a shot of winning a round. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Obviously, Lexie Hull saying what we all knew, that like, whatever about the start of the year, with all the crazy stuff about it, that people are realizing not only do people not hate Caitlin Clark, most players seem to like being around Caitlin Clark, and also players are realizing, okay, yeah, let's just make sure we take as much advantage as possible of this Caitlin Clark effect.